Hi, this video is going to be all about the PvP add-ons and the user interface options that I use for Drop 6 and WildStar that I use in PvP. First thing you're going to want to do is go to curse.com or search for Curse Client, and then that should bring you to the download page for Curse Client. What it is it's an add-on management uh, program that will help you manage and update, keep your add-ons up to date a lot easier than actually manually setting them all up by yourself. First add-on I recommend is OptiPlates. It's a nameplate add-on that makes visibility a lot easier in PvP. So hit escape till your menu comes up, click on OptiPlates. Your menu will come up. There's a ton of different options you can mess around with in this add-on. It's awesome for nameplates. You can literally add and delete any kind of options you want to help out in PvP. You can resize all your nameplates. You can change the font. You can change different displays. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's highly recommended. If you want to copy my settings, you can pause the video while I'm going through stuff on this. You can change the style. You can change the size. It just makes the battlefield way more visible. So like if your nameplates are getting in your way, you're gonna have issues because nameplates are kind of big. You can shrink them up. You can change the colors of them. You can change class colors. So one thing I do for enemies is I change all my enemy class colors. There's like a sister add-on for a couple of these add-ons that you can get. It's called Color Picker. So OptiPlates, Color Picker, and Perspective, I believe. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Uh, that that color picker will pop up. Then you can modify the color that you want, and it'll give you code, or it'll automatically add it into the box for you. So I highly recommend class colors and nameplates because it makes it a lot easier to just visually see the enemy by their class color. There's all kinds of options. I mean, you go and you look through this add-on, and you'll find all kinds of cool stuff to change around. Again, if you want to copy any of my settings, if you like them, or if you want to try them out, you can pause it at any time during this video and then check it out. One thing you have to do to remember is type /reload UI if you want the options in OptiPlates to save. And /reload UI command is always just a good idea to do that anyway, because it's just a good idea anyway. I usually hit it anytime my frame rates drop or anytime I feel like the game might be running a little slow. I actually have a macro which I'll cover later on in this guide. Next add-on is Dr. Score Badger. This one's great for finding enemy healers is what I mainly use it for. You can also use it to find enemy top score, so like enemy top damage or who's dying the most to find squishy enemies. Uh, I have hotkey F1 is target myself, and you can click on test settings on current target, and then you can mess around with how it displays on your character. So I like to have mine by the feet. That way, that's how I like it. You can change the opacity, which will change, how opaque it is. You can change the size of it. You can change where it sits. So you can have it sitting above them, or you can have them sitting by their legs or below them, or wherever you prefer to have it. Then stop testing, click OK when you're done with that. And that's pretty much all that add-on does, but it's great for identifying healers and then strategically killing them and stuff like that. Okay, the next add-on is Perspective. Uh, this one, if you click on all, you can actually look through all the add-on or all the settings. So all these are all your settings. These are different categories. Over here, you click on those, you see different categories. So if you want to set all, you can click on this arrow box thing, and you will select them all, and that's a lot of stuff selected. So I think a lot of them are selected when you first start. So what I do first thing is I click on it twice or however many times it takes. So you unselect them all, and then you pick which ones you want. And if you want to see which ones I have, uh, like the quest complete, exile mask for in the Moody or in the Tiki Temple. Your focus, that one's really important. I'll go over that in just a second. You can have your friends, friendly carrier, golden skull. I don't even know what that is. It's probably PvE stuff, so I unselect that. Healer, this is default green. In order to change the colors and stuff on them, you just click on this. Don't click on the check mark. That selects and deselects it to be on or off. Click on over here anywhere. That'll bring up more options. And then you can have a line drawn to your healers at all times. You can change the size of the icon, which is this. You can change the color, and that's another thing. Color picker comes in handy, because then you can use this to change the color, which is really nice. And then you can change the line color. You can change all kinds of options that go around with it, or go along with it. So I highly recommend those. When you're done with that, you just click on this little arrow thing. I had the hardest time getting back the first time I tried it out. You just click on this to go back to this screen again. And then you scroll down. Interactables, I like to have those. It helps with moody masks and stuff like that in PvP. And in Halls of the Bloodsworn, it'll show you where you can interact. It's just kind of nice because then you'll kind of see visually like, oh, we don't have control of this point or whatever. And we have the neutral mask, objectives, rivals. You can set your teammates, like your same faction, as rivals to make them more visible. This will actually put an icon up on your nameplate here. So if I make myself my own rival, oh, no, I can't do that. But if you make someone your rival, it'll put that red icon up there. And then again, you can change those settings for that. So if you have a DPS you want to see easier. But the best way to see somebody, and this is also really good for leveling too, you can draw lines to all of the objectives and stuff like that, so you'll be able to see things to interact with a lot easier, enemies a lot easier. It's really good for visibility. Weapon subdue is great for when Esper subdues you. You'll see a line to your weapon, and you'll see this knife or sword pop up, dagger, whatever it is. Where is the... I know it's under miscellaneous, but the focus, you want that selected, and then you want to have a line to it. I changed the colors up a little bit, but if you set your focus to, let's say, an NPC, we'll go over here. It's probably an NPC I can click on. I can't interact with them though. Okay, I can set them as my focus. You just right click on this portrait, and then you'll have a line and an icon, a heart icon. So you'll always be able to see where they are. There's a range associated with this, I believe. Maybe not. So if that was my healer, or if that was the DPS I wanted to get on their target with them, it'd always have that line drawn. It makes it a lot easier to see where your healer is or your DPS that you want to be with, or whoever, maybe your friend or whatever. But that's how that one works. It's super valuable for if you want to get everybody on the same target and kill somebody, or if you want to have the enemy healers more visible, or your friendly healers more visible, or your top DPS more visible, or the enemy top DPS more visible. It all depends on what you want to use it for, but it's great. I don't know why that disappeared right when I went there. Maybe it's line of sight. I don't know. That's how that works. It's a great add-on. Alright, the next one is the zone. If you mouse over up here, you'll notice these icons pop up, and you can select or deselect them. I personally like to have the percentage of health, show enemy, and then see confirmed healers, because when you go in there, you'll see players' names right here. Like when you go into the PvP instances, you'll see player names pop up here. you'll be able to click on them. You'll be able to do more options if you right click them. You can like set them to focus. You can change different things in here. You can disable it in cities if you want. You can switch the template, so that switch template will actually make their portrait show up, and they'll be bigger with health bars. So in like arenas, if you ever play WoW, like I think it's called Gladius is the add-on, you'll have big pictures and you can click on them and then select them as focus right away or whatever you want to do with that. That's pretty much all I use the zone for. You can have enemies only or show both, and I just prefer to see my enemies because I already, when I go into a battleground, I always see the friendlies in my raid anyway.